What's going on YouTube? Billy Rains here, and I just watched a video from another creator called Old Snapper or Snapper or Trucking with Old Snapper, however you want to say it. And he was basically talking about training, and he made some points that I kind of wanted to address in my own video. I'm going to leave a link to his video down below, but I just want to answer some of the things he was talking about with training because I used to be a trainer myself. So anyway, just to explain to you guys why I feel like I deserve to have an opinion on this, I was a trainer at two different companies. I became a trainer after only 6 months of being a driver at CR England, and I did that for 5 months. And then I also became a trainer at CFI. That was about 2 years into my driving experience, and I was a trainer there for about 3 months. And altogether, I trained right around between 15 and 20 students. It's been a while, so I don't necessarily exactly remember how many people it was. But yeah, that's why I feel like I deserve to have an opinion on this. Now, if you disagree with me feeling like I have a reason to weigh in on this, like you think maybe I wasn't a trainer long enough, maybe I don't have enough driving experience, how can I talk about being a trainer when I'm just a rookie? I don't really care. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you think that I should have been a trainer at 6 months. But I'm kind of going to try to explain why I think I deserve to be a trainer after only 6 months of driving. So basically, in Snapper's video, he explained that he believed that you should have 3 years experience to be a trainer. And while I do agree with him on a certain level, right? So I think if you're training in a CDL school and you are taking people who have never driven and you are training them and getting them their CDL, I think 3 years might even be too low. You might even need, like I know there's a training academy in my town and it needs 5 years experience to work there. And so I kind of agree with that. But if you are an over-the-road driver trainer, like they already have their CDL in hand and they're getting on your truck, I personally believe once they give someone that CDL, they should be able to drive the truck. So if you have an issue with inexperience, you shouldn't be looking at the guy who gets somebody for 3 weeks and expect them to train this. They should be getting this training before they ever get their CDL, in my opinion. So that's why I believe that somebody with only 6 months of experience should be able to train someone on the truck. So once that trainee has their CDL in their hand, they should be able to drive a truck. So once they get on my truck as a trainer with their CDL, then all I'm doing is I'm teaching them how to fill out paperwork. I'm teaching them how to do macros. I'm basically monitoring them to make sure they don't have no bad driving habits over the road. They do pay attention to what's going on around them, making sure that they're reading signs, making sure they can use the Qualcomm, making sure they can send macros, do paperwork, vector it in. All these things are what we are worried about as a driver trainer, right? We're not worried about, oh, this and that, do they know how to drive a truck or whatever. I feel like at that point, I am just monitoring them and making sure that they can drive a truck. Anyway, another thing that Snapper brought up in his video that I wanted to address was the 3-bunk truck thing. And I feel like the 3-bunk truck thing gets a bad rap because you're training 3 students anyway. And if you go back to what I was saying earlier about the experience thing, well, it also makes sense once you look at it from training 2 students at once. So basically, when you get these 2 students, they both have CDLs. They both technically know how to drive a truck, right? So basically, how it works is the only difference between a 3-bunk truck and a 2-bunk truck is, yes, they do have a 3rd bunk above the driver and passenger, but you don't ever sleep there because, I mean, no one could comfortably sleep up there. It's too tight. So basically, the big thing is that seat belts, like a net thing on the top bunk, so somebody could sleep on the top bunk when the truck's moving. That's the big difference, because before you couldn't really sleep 2 people while driving, but once you put the top bunk in there, you could sleep 2 people So the 3 bunk truck was actually better than a 2 bunk truck for training 2 students. Now you could argue like somebody can't train 2 students at once, but if all you're doing is teaching them macros, watching them make sure they can drive and all this stuff, then I don't really necessarily think that that matters either, right? But that's how that worked. The only difference was is they had the top bunk where you could strap somebody in while the truck was moving, and then the trainer, once the driver who was driving was good, could go back and sleep on the bottom bunk. Now, you can argue down below what you think about that system, but that is the system CR England had, and that was the system I operated in. Anyway, guys, that's going to about do it for this video. I appreciate y'all tuning in. If you have any questions for me about anything I talked about in this video or about anything in general, leave them in the comments section down below. I'd love to get to them and answer them as I can. Like I said, I appreciate y'all tuning in. If you wouldn't mind, hit the subscribe button, like the video, maybe hit that bell so you see these videos as soon as they come out. And that's going to do it, guys. I got to get on down the road. You guys stay safe. Keep it between the ditches. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.